The other day, somebody told me that I was very positive and that I was laughing the whole time and that they had an incredible interaction with me. And of course, I liked that compliment. But it also made me pause in my tracks. Because had it been before, in the past, if somebody had given me that kind of compliment, it would have caused stress in me. Why? Because in my mind, I would have told myself, I have to be positive all the time. I have to be, I have to be filled with laughter all the time. I have to be nice all the time, or whatever it is, right? And so I would have automatically told myself, I can't show the parts of me that are resentful. I can't show the parts of me that are angry. I can't show the parts of me that are fearful, sad, etc. Because at that time I believed that if I showed people that I'm positive, that they would like me. If I showed people my positive states, let me put it that way. If I showed people my positive states, they would like me. If I showed people my negative states, they would run away from me and I would be alone. And I think most of us think that way. And in this video, I want to show you that it's not your positive state or your negative states that is going to hold in that person, that is going to attract another person into your life or, repulse them. But it's something completely different. There is an element that we're not looking at, that we ignore, and I want to bring it in this video. Why? Because as in all of my videos, the aim for me is to teach myself and others how to be genuinely oneself moment by moment. How to genuinely be oneself with other people in interactions. Because if you don't do that, every time you're interacting with another person, if you just show only a part of you, you're literally in that moment betraying another part. And that will not feel good. And that has consequences. And these consequences will arise in the relationship and they will toxify it. So might as well be oneself, right? So let me start with 2 examples. I'll show you 2 examples and I'll show you why it's not the negative state that is the problem. So I remember one day I was talking to a friend of mine and she was venting. She was very angry, she was hurt, she was sad, and she was telling me all this. And as she was telling me that, I didn't feel good, right? I didn't feel good. I just wanted to get out of there. I didn't like staying there. It was like, what reason can I bring in to just bolt, to just, run away from here? Because I don't want to hear this. I don't want to be here. And the way it felt energetically was that as she was talking, I felt at some point as if I was being imprisoned, as if something was sucking me in and I was being imprisoned and I was like, oh, no, I want out. I just wanted to come out because it was, I was just being pulled in, sucked in. I didn't like that. That's what I was feeling in that moment. The other thing that I felt was, again, that feeling of being imprisoned, as if there was some expectation that she had of me. I didn't want to fulfill that expectation, but I felt trapped in it. I felt like I had to do something. I had to, fulfill it. And I didn't want to. So again, I was trying to find solutions for her so that she didn't feel the negative states she was, feeling in that moment. And I could just run away from there. Does that sound familiar? Do you find yourself with certain people when they start talking and they're in their negative states, that you just feel trapped, pulled in, you feel powerless, and you just want out because this feels like prison, right? So let me just leave that here, this example. And then there was another time with a completely different person. And again, she was telling me about her anger, her frustrations, her hurt, her sadness, her confusion, fear. I mean, she was going through it all. And as she was talking, and she spoke for a long time, like it was a monologue for 20-30 minutes, literally 20-30 minutes. And I'm telling you 20-30 minutes, not because it felt long for me, but just to prove my point in this moment. And as she was talking, I was there, and I was just melting and melting and melting, and I was just falling into her. I was just looking at her, and it was just amazing to see her going through all those states. I was a witness in that moment. I was witnessing the way it felt in the moment, the way I experienced it, was that I was witnessing this incredible, powerful being that was going through different moments, that was going down, up, through different stages, through different states, through difficult moments. And I was just amazed by what they were going through, but by how strong they were as they were going through that. And it felt like an honor to be able to witness that, to hold that, and to have that person trust me with what they're going through. And to see, I mean, it's like a movie that unfolds. And it's so nourishing, it's deep, because I would go to the depth of her sadness with her. I would go to the depth of her despair, of her fear, confusion, and everything, and I was with her. And it felt nourishing. It felt empowering. It was a very powerful moment to go through. So these are two examples. Both of them, in the first one and the second one, it's the same states. It's negative states. It's fear. It's anger. It's frustration. It's hurt. With anger, there's blame, right? There's all of that happening, and yet I'm experiencing in a completely different way. Why? And this is the element I want to talk about. The element that was missing in the first one and that was present in the second example was responsibility. In the first example, the person was not taking responsibility for their emotions, for the states they were going through. In the second one, they did. So in the first one, for example, let me give you an example so that it's clear for you. They won't come from this place of, I am experiencing this, I am feeling this, this is what is happening here. You see, it's a part that is holding another one, right? It's holding and it's witnessing, it's observing, it's feeling, it's seeing, it's doing everything, and it's holding that part. In the first one, it's always about blame. Blame is part of healing. You will go to blame. But sometimes some of us just stay stuck there and it becomes a broken record. Always blame, always blame, always blame. And that's when it becomes toxic, because it means that you haven't gone through it all. You haven't fallen into your vulnerability. You haven't gone into yourself. You're still out there. And so it doesn't feel good when it goes on and on and on. If it's okay for a while, but if it goes on and on, yeah. The second thing is that in the first example, I felt like there was an expectation, like that person was wanting something from me. And they weren't being responsible for that. They weren't owning it. So I could feel it, right? And it was kind of implied through what they said. And that's not taking responsibility. That's just trying to manipulate that person through that state, through that negative state, to gain something. Right? In the second part, there wasn't that. In the second part, it was obvious that the person obviously told me, look, I need to talk. I need something, I need to be seen. And they were just talking. And so I was very clear about what I need to do in that moment. And I'm not saying that you need to be 100% clear. But as the need comes, as the want comes, you take it in and you can be like, I don't know what I want from you now. I'm not clear. I want something, but I don't know. Do you see the responsibility there? And you're explaining it, and another way is you're describing what you're going through. The best way to say it, you're describing, because as you describe what is happening, you're showing up as you are, right? Another element is, for example, let's say that it was anger. Most of the time when people talk about anger or resentment or whatever, they will say, I am angry, right? And when you say I'm angry, most of the time you're just saying the words. Are you actually feeling it? Are you experiencing it? Because anger is a state, it's something that manifests in your body, right? And taking responsibility means that you take it in and you feel it, you're experiencing it. And as you're experiencing it, you're opening up to the other person. But if I say only I'm angry, I'm not experiencing it. I'm in my mind. I've just disconnected completely from the body. I'm not taking responsibility for what is happening here. So that energy is being hurled at the other person. Right? So when you're angry, again, it's about describing it also. Oh my God, anger is movement. There's a lot of movement happening. Anger is this fire, like feeling, oh my God, I feel so hot. I have to move. I don't know what to do. And I just think about them and, ooh, this is happening. And this is what anger is. It's like your whole body is talking. Your whole body is expressing itself. And you're witnessing it all. You're not witnessing this part, I am angry. But, it's the whole of you. And you're letting, so that energy, instead of being restricted here, it's everywhere. It's free everywhere. It's flowing very intensely. And the other person can witness that. And you are holding it, right? You're coming from that experience of, I'm holding this. This is happening inside of me. And you are experiencing it with me, right? And there's freedom, there's movement. And so the other person will not feel restricted, will not automatically, because the way you feel, you'll make the other person feel. So you see, that's what I'm talking about when I talk about responsibility. You're holding space for it, and then the other person also holds space for what is happening inside of you. And suddenly there's this beautiful interaction, very deep interaction that is happening. Because as you go through it, you don't know where you're going. It's an adventure that is happening in that moment. And you have someone, a companion next to you that is coming with you, that you're letting come with you. And it's one of the most deep things that you can do. It's very nourishing. If you have addictions, you do these kind of exercise, the addictions will go away. Because addiction is about lack of depth. There's something missing. It's so superficial. There's this hunger, this void, that something is not there. But this kind of depth, when you open up, when you show up, when you let yourself be completely yourself, and the other person can see that, that is just, I don't know what to call it, but it's very empowering, it's deep, it's nourishing, it's exactly what you're looking for. So let me wrap it up. It's not your negative state that will scare people away. It's whether you are responsible for it, whether you're holding that state. If you hold it, if you're responsible for it, and you are showing it to others, you are expressing it to others, you're opening your heart, yourself, your soul to the other person. Your soul is just bearing itself to others, right? When you do that, that person will not run away unless they have some big issues of their own, unless they can't take responsibility for their own emotions and states. That can be if they're very traumatized by anger or things like that. In that case, they won't be able to hold most of the time. But most of the time, it's people will actually open up and they will want to be there. I remember the first time I got very angry, and I was consciously doing it. The other person was looking at me as a pup. They were, with puppy eyes looking at me, and they were amazed. And I was like, oh. And I realized that it wasn't the anger. It wasn't the sadness. It wasn't the hate. It has nothing to do with that. It's how you hold it. It's about you being responsible for yourself. I hope this is clear. Let me know if you have any questions, any comments. Sometimes I don't answer to questions or comments, but I always note them down, and I always take them to the next video, or I think about a video that I'll make in the future. So I just wanted to put it out there. If you want to have if you have an issue like this and you want to open up to the other person but you don't know how to do it, then you can always book a session with me, and I'd love to be there and help you out with that. And see you in my next video.